Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Make sure you hit the like button as you come in. I wanted to share an article that I read on Newsweek.com, and it's about Jill Biden, the First Lady, and her having what they said was another racist moment. And they're referring to her inviting Iowa to the White House to go along with LSU, who won the national championship. Typically, only the winner goes. In all the history of the championships, none of the runner-ups or losers have gone. So I'm going to read and share some of this article and provide my commentary as well. It was written by Darvio Morrow. Never heard of him, but he is CEO of the FCB Radio Network. This was done on April 4th, 2023. As for several days, the nation has been engulfed in yet another racial controversy, this time due to the budding rivalry between the predominantly black LSU women's college basketball team and the predominantly white Iowa team. LSU defeated Iowa in the NCAA national championship game. The Stars, LSU's Angel Reese, a black woman, and Iowa's Caitlin Clark, a white woman, have become proxies for the larger battle in this country between black and white, such as it exists. And First Lady Dr. Jill Biden just poured gasoline on the fire. The racially tinged controversy started over what happened after Reese deployed WWE superstar John Cena's "You Can't See Me" taunt on the court. Now, I just did a video about that. That's actually from Tony Yayo, but the wide world is not going to know who Tony Yayo is. And John Cena, of course, did make it more popular, but he didn't create it. The taunt sparked a backlash, with many calling it disrespectful, rude, and unsportsmanlike. Yet, as many fans were quick to point out, Clark herself had used the very same taunt recently and far from called out for it. She's seen as entertaining and competitive, even scoring John Cena's stamp of approval. Double standard was called out by many as another example of black women being excoriated for the same behavior that their white counterparts are praised for. Yet with all of this raging in the background, Dr. Biden, who was in attendance at the championship game, made things worse. She suggested both LSU and Iowa be invited to the White House, breaking with decades of tradition that says that only the winner of a national championship gets the honor of a White House invite. So they quote what she said about having them both come, and then Angel Reese retweeted the article and said it was a joke. Like, no, we're not going to that. We're not doing that. And since then, Angel Reese has come out and spoke in an interview and said that she declined the offer, that her and her teammates and the coach discussed everything, and they decided they didn't want to go to the White House. They wanted to go to the Obamas. Now, that's a different story. I mean, it's really no better. But I guess she's 20 years old. She doesn't know. But in this article on Newsweek, they're saying that it's not the first racist moment she's had. In 2022, she cited bodegas and breakfast tacos as praise for Hispanic diversity, drawing widespread condemnation from the Hispanic community. So this isn't new behavior, but it's bigger than just a latte liberal having moments of racism cloaked in white paternalism. This was not some backbench fringe member of Congress. This was the First Lady of the United States wading into a racial controversy on the opposite side of the constituency that her husband needs. The fact that Dr. Biden felt comfortable enough to say something so disrespectful to her husband's most important constituency speaks volumes about how we as black people are valued or not valued in this political environment. This is what really caught my attention here. The simple truth is this: if we continue to give our votes away to the Democratic Party without making them work for it, we will continue to be dismissed and disrespected. The fact that our vote is not as competitive as the votes for other communities means we do not have the same influence. We therefore live in an environment where one political party takes us for granted and the other one ignores us. Yes. Somebody gets it, and I was so kind of shocked to see this in Newsweek.com. All the time we see these news sites are typically very liberal, and they go with whatever the Democrats are saying. So to see them come out and to say, basically, to allow this article to be printed, They're saying basically, you know, the Republicans ignore us and the Democrats just take us for granted and know that, oh, they're going to vote for us because how could they dare vote for those racist Republicans? Never mind the Democrat racism. We're going to ignore that because it's not the Republicans' racism. We don't want that. And then they have the audacity. They can say, oh, you don't want that. You don't want those Republicans in there. You don't know what they'll do. So they create an atmosphere of fear for black people to vote Democrat. And we just keep on going right along with it. One of the elders on YouTube was doing a live stream and he was saying why he voted for a particular Democrat in Chicago. And that particular Democrat is all for immigration. He was messaging for that, and he's talking about bringing more migrants there and spending a bunch of money on migrants. So I was like, oh my God, you know, why would you even do that? And so I typed in the comments something about it, and he basically was like, well, the Democrats, that's what they have to push in order to get that vote because other white people are going to vote for the Republicans. So they have to push for immigration and LGBT rights and all this and that. Yeah, I get it. But my point is, why do we fall into the system and we just go with it? We're going to have to step out of the system or either go against the grain and vote Republican or just don't vote at all. Something in order to show, hey, Democrats, if y'all are just going to do your own agenda and ignore us, then we're going to ignore you. We can't just, oh, well, that's all we got is a two-party system. Either you're going to vote this way or you're going to vote that way. And we can't vote Republicans as black people. So we just have to go ahead and vote Democrat. And they know we think like this. So guess what? We get ignored every year. They do everything off our backs of our votes, and they go ahead and give all this money away to every other community. And then when we demand or request reparations, they look at us like, oh, y'all just want a handout. But everybody else had their damn hands out collecting everything else for their community. I was surprised that it was actually being said on here. The article goes on to say, throughout his political career, President Biden himself has had a history of saying racist things about black people. The "you ain't black" comment, the "black people are not diverse" comment, the "racial jungle" comment, the "Republicans are going to put y'all back in chains" comment, the "Obama is the first mainstream African American who is articulate, bright, and clean" comment. And because of a compliant corporate media and the lack of competition for our votes, he gets away with it. Yes, somebody is actually saying it. Exactly. The media is always compliant. They go along with it. Republicans don't seem to speak to our base or speak to us. So it's like, okay, they're not talking about doing anything for us. Well, of course, Trump said something last election about the African American community or whatever, something that he was going to put money into. But prior to that, I hadn't heard any Republicans even try to get our vote because they know it's not a possibility. But we need to make it so that both parties are looking at, oh, we need their vote. What can we do to get them on board? The Democrats just come police reform, and then they get in office and then they give more money to the police. They scrap anything they said they might do as far as like Joe Biden talking about that oversight commission. What happened to that? Right as he got elected, he said, we're not going to do that. What are we voting for? For the sake of putting our sticker on, for the sake of dancing at fish fries, and for the sake of just being able to tell the other people in your social circle, yeah, I voted. Did you vote? You better get out and vote. You can't be one of them lazy Negroes that don't vote. It's definitely not to get us anything tangible. The article goes on to say, it is not in our best interest to have all of our political capital invested in one party when we live in a two-party system. Without the ability to influence both sides, we will continue to be disrespected by both sides without fear of repercussion. Dr. Biden's stupid comment is a symptom of a larger problem. Black Americans are taken for granted by many of the very people that we put in power because they don't fear any political consequences. In life and in politics, people do not value what they don't have to work for. We need to change that, and if we're going to get anywhere in this country. So that was the article. Again, that was written by Darby O'Morrow. I'm glad that Newsweek published the article. I'm glad he wrote the article because it's something that needs to be brought to our attention as well as to the powers that be, that there's things that are changing. The political climate is changing. A lot more Black people are aware than they used to be. I didn't gain any awareness about it until probably 2020. Prior to that, it was we just vote Democrat. I don't know, just go vote down ballot Democrat. Just go all the way down and just choose Democrats. It don't matter who they are or whatever. These are the people that like you. Yeah, right. These are the same people that ignore you, the same people that put legislation that will harm you and your community. Just glad that he said that. Just wanted to share it with you. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you hit the like button before you go and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Until next time, peace.